Welcome to tonight's 5 on 5. The guest is Danny Jordan, Jackson County Administrator. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're winding down here on 2012. What are some of the things as we get towards the end of this year that have kind of that come to agreements on, some of the things that you're building on and looking forward to next year?
Yeah, 2012 certainly was a busy year for the county. You know, we completed multiple capital projects, including the Sheriff's Office, started the jail remodel, completed the courthouse remodel. We're beginning the construction on the new Health and Human Services facility. I mean, we've been going crazy with capital projects. We've also completed a lot of work in our planning department with the Governor's Executive Order 1207, looking at creating new definitions for resource lands, where we're working with Douglas and Josephine counties to file a petition with the DLCD, or the State Division of Land Conservation Development, hopefully to free up some uses for lands within our county. So that's been a big project for us this year. Obviously, you know, managing our county budget's been a challenge this year as we've seen declines in revenue, and both in our property tax base and state and federal funding, but we've managed pretty well through that. One of the biggest initiatives that the Board of Commissioners took on this year was economic development, and we created a series of economic development action initiatives, one of which has turned out to be really very successful. It's a jobs grant program where traded sector companies apply for grants from the county for adding new jobs within the county. We've actually made awards for up to 104 jobs so far. 48 of those jobs have been created and filled. The other ones are in the process of being filled. It's created $2.3 million in new payroll in the county just for the 48 jobs, and that's just salary. That's not including benefits, which really bumps that up, and we expect the whole 104 to be filled very shortly. We give a company 18 months to be able to do that. Some of the major benefits from that, for example, Lindy Gas and Electronics out in White City added several new jobs because the county made the investment and because they were looking to expand. Having the support of local government has enticed their corporate headquarters to invest another $10 million locally in the plant and add more jobs. So the county's had a lot going on this year for sure.
All right, well, we've kind of recapped this year. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll ask you about the coming year, 2013, and what you're staring at. So stick around, more 5 on 5 right after the break. Welcome back to the 5 on 5. The guest is Danny Jordan, Jackson County Administrator. We were looking back at 2012, looking ahead to 2013, and I know there's probably a lot of things that you're staring at that probably keep you up at nights and some of the things. What are you looking ahead at?
Man, I'll tell you what, the biggest challenge this year is really going to be the budget situation in the county. You know, we've managed really well, especially when you look at counties around us struggling. But one of the biggest things that's impacting us this year is the increase in our public employees retirement system. It's about a $4 million increase in our payroll just for the retirement system. You know, that's with no new revenue coming in. In fact, we have a decline in our property tax base, so we're going to have less revenue to fund many millions of dollars in increases. And it's a tough situation. We also see declining revenue with state and federal government. And so putting the budget together this year, I say this every year, it's been the most difficult year, but this year really tops all the others so far. I'm really hopeful that when the legislature meets here, they'll do something about PERS. I mean, it's really a problem for local governments, school districts, so on and so forth, because we just can't keep up with the pace.
You mentioned revenue. Has there been any ideas that have come about from citizens or commissioners about increasing the revenue, or have you kind of exhausted as much as you can to look at ways of increasing revenue?
Our Board of Commissioners really hasn't been supportive of increasing taxes or creating new taxes for people, especially in the current economic climate. But we have looked at you know, inventive ways of bringing revenue to the county. We are expanding our jail. We're looking at potentially renting jail beds to the federal government, which can bring us significant, up to $2 million a year in revenue. We've looked at, with our biggest union, moving them to a self-insurance plan rather than a fully insured plan, which can decrease expenses, $2 million a year, which essentially creates a revenue. Our new Health and Human Services facility, even though the county invested in that building to begin with, the intent is for us to recover that investment and generate a revenue to the general fund over time of about $1.5 million a year. So we are looking at creative ways to bring revenues without raising taxes.
Just quickly, as it looked ahead to 2013, is there anything that people out there should know about? I know you're saying you're looking at not raising taxes, but is there anything that that really should, someone should look at as a member of Jackson County?
Yeah, I think people want to pay attention to what the outcomes from regional problem solving are, because that's been acknowledged by the state now. It's coming back to the county and the cities, so the cities are going to have the opportunity to expand their urban growth boundaries. That's going to create a lot of business opportunities between all of the cities, development opportunities. It's a very structured growth plan, I think what will be beneficial to the public in general. Also, the county is going to continue to work on the redesignation of resource lands under Governor's Executive Order 1207, which should be beneficial for our county as well. So there are some things that are certainly in the works that people will want to pay attention to.
All right, Danny, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it.
It was nice to meet you.
All right, that's it for the 5 on 5. More news right after the break.